And then finally, we'll be able to say that together we restored the original understanding of our Constitution. We will have a limited government that works alongside us. We will not have an unaccountable bureaucracy that's been weaponized against us. I look at these agencies like the Department of Justice, like the FBI, like the IRS. You know, we have a government. They can't tell you how many tanks they left in Afghanistan. They can't tell you where the money they've sent to Ukraine has gone. They can't tell you how many people are coming across our border illegally. They can't even tell you how cocaine got into the White House. But yet, if you make a $601 transaction, the IRS is going to be on your case and they are going to be policing you. That is unacceptable. We will have restored this government to its rightful owners, we, the American people. And we have no choice but to make sure we get all this done. My wife and I, and my wife is here, the First Lady of Florida. Many of you got to meet her. She is, I'm a little biased, but I do think this is true of all 50 states. She's America's greatest First Lady, and we appreciate everything that she does. So we have at home, we have a 6-, 5-, and 3-year-olds, and so first grade, kindergarten, and pre-K 3. So we're very sensitive about what's going to happen in this next generation, because it's going to impact them. It's going to impact some of your kids, your grandkids, and we run the risk on our current course of being the first generation of Americans that are leaving to our children and grandchildren an America that's less prosperous and less free than the one we inherited. And that would not be doing justice to our kids and grandkids. We will not have been doing our part as Americans, and I'm motivated to get in the fight because of that reality. But I'm also motivated because I have an appreciation for the people that have come before us. When I used to fly up to Washington, D.C., there was a particular route that the plane could take going into Reagan National Airport, and it would take you flush parallel to the National Mall. So if you looked out the left side of the plane, you saw sweeping up-close views of the Lincoln Memorial, the Reflecting Pool, Washington Monument, all the other monuments, and then perched on top of the hill in the not-too-distant yonder, the beautiful U.S. Capitol building. And you think to yourself, you know, all that stuff really symbolizes the principles and the ideals that make our country unique, and it fills you with a sense of pride of being an American. And I can tell you a lot of the tourists would really get excited about it. And so it made you feel good. But what I noticed after doing that a few times was looking out the left side of the plane. While those monuments were spectacular, while those monuments were nice to see, those were not the greatest monuments to our country. Because if you looked out the right side of the plane, you looked over the Potomac River, you saw a lot of small, nondescript monuments orderly arranged over the rolling hills of a place called Arlington National Cemetery. And it occurred to me then, and I believe now, you can have the best Constitution in the world, you can have the best Declaration of Independence in the world. These things do not run on autopilot. They require each generation of Americans, when tested, to step up and to defend freedom. And yes, in certain instances, to put on a uniform, to risk your life and indeed give that last full measure of devotion in service to the greater cause. We are not doing justice to their sacrifices and their memories if we allow this country to continue its descent. We have a responsibility to step up, we have a responsibility to fight back, and we have a responsibility to reverse this country's decline and give this country a new birth of freedom. So now's the time to do it. The time for excuses is over. We are not going to get a mulligan on the 2024 election. I don't want to be in a situation where it's recriminations and the Democrats get in again and they end up doing even greater damage. Just think about the damage they have done when they had 50 senators in 2021, barely had a majority in the House, and they were able to do all this damage. Yet when we have majorities, Republicans don't do squat with the majorities. How do we keep letting this happen? So we all got to do our part. And here's the thing. The way our society functions now, when you stand up for what's right, when you're exercising leadership, you could be a governor, you could be a presidential candidate, you could be running for city council, you could just be a concerned citizen, you could be a mom going to a school board meeting. If you're standing up for what's right and you're exercising leadership, that is not cost-free. People will come after you. The left will come after you. The media will come after you. I'm actually a little disappointed. I didn't see any protesters out for me today. Where did the protesters go? We had them 6 months ago when I was here. I had them in other parts of California since I've been here, but they will come after you. And so the question is, you know, it's always easier to just kind of retreat back in your little safety comfort zone, to not want to get out there, to not have to put up with it, because it can be nasty. It can be tough. But, you know, if people were willing to put on a uniform and give their life for us in years past, that is the least we can do, to step up and fight back when freedom is under attack. So let's resolve. Let's resolve to take the next year, year and a half, to ensure that in every corner of this country, we are bringing a message of hope. We are bringing a message of renewal, and we are bringing a message of freedom to every citizen and every jurisdiction in this land. And I don't care if it's someplace that is dark red, like we've made most of Florida, or if it's in the heart of San Francisco. We have got to carry the message, and we've got to do what's right. So I can just tell you this, I'm not backing down. We've got a country to save. Let's get the job done. God bless you all, and thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yes, thank you.